Hey loves, I hope you guys are having a great day so far. So I saw this picture on social media recently, and the picture shows this woman in a really cute dress, and she is in some stiletto heels, and she is kneeling down in the grass. And you want to know why she is kneeling down in the dirty grass? Because she is proposing, yes, proposing marriage to her boyfriend. And she's doing this with their children, I'm guessing her kids, in the background, and they're standing there and cheering her on and everything. And I wanted to talk to you about this idea of, should a woman ever propose marriage to a man? My answer is absolutely not. Like, never, ever, ever, ever. And I have three reasons for why that is the case. Because this is not a matter of gender equality or women can do anything that a man can do, because I believe in those things, and I believe that yes, a woman can propose marriage the same way a man can, but she shouldn't. So again, three reasons why I believe that. Number one, when a man is ready to commit, he is ready to commit, and he knows that he is ready to commit. So if you are in a situation where you've been dating someone for forever and ever and ever, however long you want to define forever as being, and you get to the point where you are so ready to get married that you start contemplating the idea of, maybe I should just propose to him and get it done, get it over with. Here's the thing, if he wanted to marry you, he would have already made that clear. When my husband and I were boyfriend and girlfriend, when we were dating, he made it clear within the first 2 months of our relationship that he knew that I was the woman that he wanted to marry. And he and I got engaged after about 2 years of dating. And here's the thing, I personally believe that if a man hasn't made it clear within a year, maybe if he's a little bit younger, say under the age of 25 or so, a year and a half, that he wants to get married, it's probably not going to work out. I know that there are exceptions to every single rule, but in general, a man is going to know in about a year or so whether or not you are the type of woman who he wants to marry. The only reason why my husband and I waited 2 years to get engaged was because of me. I was the one who held up our engagement, because when we met, my husband was under the age of 25, so I had those concerns. And also there was work that I wanted to do on myself. But again, he made it clear within about 2 months that I was the woman that he wanted to marry. So when a man is ready for marriage, and when he is ready for you, and he's ready to commit to you, he makes it clear. And there's no doubt in that situation. You know where you stand. You know that this relationship is going to lead to marriage. So you shouldn't be in a position where you've been with someone for several years and you get to the point where you think, oh, I'm just going to propose to him. Number two, you have to recognize that when it comes to growth and development and what a person needs in order to be ready for marriage, that men and women are very different. So when it comes to us women, we need to feel in love. We need to feel secure. Like, this is a man who can take care of us, however you want to define taking care of you. And that's pretty much what you need in order to get married. If you are a man, on the other hand, you have to realize that for a man, it is not a matter of, okay, I'm in love, and okay, I feel secure. That is all I need. I'm ready to get married. For a man, they need to love you. And note I said that the man needs to love you, not be in love with you, because sometimes the in love part can come after the marriage, after he loves you. But he needs to know that he loves you. He wants to take care of you. And for a man, my phone ringing, I will put it on silent next time. But for a man, feeling secure enough to marry you means a lot of things. It means that he is secure in the fact that he loves you. he is secure in the fact that he is mentally ready for marriage. He is secure in this idea that he can financially take care of you, that he can be a provider. Even if he doesn't necessarily make more money than you, he knows that he is capable of providing. Because I see this a lot with women who are really successful and they date someone who makes significantly less than they do. They get into this idea of, oh, we can get married, we have the finances, we're going to be good, we can get a house and all that. But for a man, it is not enough to be like, oh, my girl makes bank, everything is good. For most men, at least. Most men need to know that they are also capable of providing. So they need that in order to get married. They also need to be secure in knowing that their friends aren't going to think they're punks. I know that's ridiculous. But oftentimes when a man is ready to get married, one of the signs that you can look for is that you'll start to see that his friends are also getting married. His friends are also settling down and finding their purpose partners. When a man starts to see that, he starts to feel like it's safe for him to do that as well. Again, for a man, he needs all kinds of security to know that it is okay for him to get married. And he also, again, needs to feel like he is secure in himself emotionally. And this is one big thing, because as women, we are much bigger on self-development and self-growth. We have no problem going to church and throwing ourselves at the altar and praying all day. We have no problem with going to see a therapist or going to the doctor when we're sick, or having a life coach, having a dating coach, having a nutritionist. We see problems, we see someone who can help us fix it, we're good. We have no problem listening to the podcast, reading the self-help books, following coaches on social media. For a man, that whole self-development, self-growth thing is a lot more personal, and he's a lot more reluctant to get help. So you have to understand that it's sometimes going to take him a little bit longer to grow at the rate that you would like him to grow. So you have to be a little bit patient when it comes to a man being ready to get married, and not trying to force it by proposing to him. Because what's going to happen is he's going to feel like he's pushed and pressured to the point where he's going to get married before he feels ready. And then the two of you are going to get married, and then 2 years, 3 years, 10 years down the line, when things aren't going very well, he's going to be like, well, I wasn't ready to get married in the first place. You forced me into this because you wanted us to get married, and I felt like this was the only way that we could stay together. That's not a situation you want to be in. The third reason for why you should not propose to a man is that it takes you out of your feminine energy. So when you are in this situation, again, feminine energy is all about grace and all about flow. When it comes to our relationships, we do not chase men. We compel men. We compel men to want to be with us. We attract men, and they see us. They know that there's something different about us. They want to get to know us better. They want to cherish us. When you operate in this energy of trying to push a man to marry you by you're the one who proposes, you are operating in force. You're operating, honestly, in a little bit of aggression. And that is masculine energy. That is not the energy that you want to be in. First of all, that energy is not attractive, because a man does not want to feel like he is competing with himself. He does not want to operate in his masculine energy and then compete with his partner, with his woman, who is also operating in her masculine energy. Because yes, as women, we have some of that energy, but we do not operate in it all the time. We are supposed to operate 90% of the time in our feminine energy. So again, a man doesn't want to feel like he's constantly competing with himself. A man doesn't want to feel like he is dating himself, like his energy and the exact same energy are constantly clashing with each other. Also, when you get into this point of you are proposing to a man and you are operating in that masculine energy, that sets the tone for the rest of your marriage. So if you are comfortable with this idea of stepping into some masculine energy and proposing to a man, can I ask you a question? Are you going to be comfortable with doing that for the next 60, 70 years of this marriage? Are you going to be comfortable always taking the lead? Are you going to be comfortable in the position of always being the dominant one? Because that is what you're setting yourself up for. A proposal is the very beginning of what is going to become a marriage, because obviously you go proposal, you go the engagement process, the wedding, and then the marriage. So the proposal is really going to set the tone. And if you started out with, hey, you are taking too long, my clock is ticking, and I also am not comfortable enough in myself to ask myself if this relationship is right for me, and I'm not comfortable enough in myself and secure enough in myself to ask, does this man really want to be with me, or is it time for me to move on? So I am just going to force the relationship that I have right now and try to push this man into marrying me. If you are operating in that energy, you're going to operate in that energy when the two of you are married. You're going to get into this point of you're going to be the one deciding whether or not it's time to have kids. You're going to be the one deciding whether or not it's time to get a house. You're going to be the one deciding every single move that the family makes. And you're going to spend, again, 60, 70, 80 years of your life dragging a man along with you. Like, how does that sound? Does that sound fun to you? Does it sound fun to constantly have to push your husband to do things? To be like, hey, hubby, or at the beginning, hey, boyfriend, we've been dating for so long and my clock is ticking. Let's go ahead and get married and let's just do this thing right now. And then, hey, hubby, we've been married for such and such time and I'm tired of renting. Let's just go ahead and do this thing and let's get this house now. Hey, hubby, we've been childless for such and such time. Let's go ahead and do this thing and have kids now. And he goes along because he's weak. He goes along because he doesn't feel like arguing with you. He goes along because he's sick and tired of being nagged. So he does things just to go along to get along, and he's miserable. And he keeps that heavy energy all the time, and that energy spreads to you, and you wonder why the two of you are so miserable, because you've set this tone at the very beginning by forcing someone into marriage before he was ready, possibly forcing someone into marriage who probably didn't want to marry you, wasn't exactly sure. And because he was at a place where it's not that he absolutely didn't want to marry you, but he also wasn't at a place where he absolutely did, and he was just kind of in the middle and not sure, he went along with it, and then again he's miserable later on. So those are my 3 reasons for why a woman should never propose to a man. Let me know what you think. I will talk to you later. Love you all. Bye.